James, it's amazing that people are still saying things like, it's just a phase you're going through and you'll get over it. Like a headache that you'll get over. And since when has being gay been an illness? And while I'm at it, what does being normal actually mean? Is it like being my father? If it is, don't go there. Real control freak. Your mum, bless her, still says I left home because I was gay. And it doesn't matter how many times I tell her otherwise, she's convinced she's right. Mind you, sisters are like that, always claiming to know more than you do. Trust me, James, I didn't travel 13,000 miles to deal with being gay. But I suspect that fate was smiling when I boarded the plane. It was great having lunch with you yesterday, James. And our long stroll afterwards did more than walk off the rich food and wine. Talking with you took me back to always knowing that my school chums were so different to me. There I was, 18 and headed for Australia, while they were getting engaged or married. Oh my God, being tied to one person from 18 until death. It's a horrible thought, don't you think? Oh. For the record, I wasn't gay when I left home. And if there is anyone to blame for my current state, then it's Elizabeth, the landlady I boarded with when I arrived in Oz. No, seriously. Elizabeth and I had been to a drag show up at the Cross. You know, it was like visiting the Harbour Bridge or Luna Park. The new chum circle, it was called. You know, been there, done that. But nothing worth writing home about, if you'll pardon the pun. Then Elizabeth took me to a nightclub for gays. Underground, of course. Wall-to-wall spunk. Amazing fashion, fetish, disco music, lights, awesome people just being themselves. And as I stood in the middle of all that, I knew I'd come home. I knew I'd found my tribe. I can't begin to tell you, James, how it felt to be openly admired, to be snogged to snog back, or to dance so freely. You know that saying, dance as though no one is looking? Well, this was dancing knowing everybody was looking, and reveling in being the new and one of the youngest guys in the room. Mind you, I wasn't promiscuous in those days. No. Family conditioning was way too strong for that. James, for you and your age group, AIDS has always been present, but not as prevalent as it was. But much like COVID, those who choose to hate rather than love used fear to create division when it first struck. And religious institutions added to the vilification. I guess it's pointless to say that God is supposed to be love when God is used as the authority for hatred. Gays have always been maligned and threatened. And back then, when I first went to the nightclub where I found my tribe, I was really badly beaten up by a group of thugs who used its approaches as a hunting ground for victims. It's said that during the 50s, pommy bashing was a national sport. But let me tell you, fag bashing was just as popular, and it lasted far longer. Gays had to be really wary in the early days, be alert to the danger and the threat of injury, or even death. James, from what you said in our walk, it still seems that you're struggling with coming out. Straight people spend far too much time conforming, James. And you may not have realised this, but now you don't have to waste energy on that. Just be who you truly are, a light in the darkness of sameness. The best advice I can give you is to accept the challenge of being gay, which I promise will be truly amazing once you do. It's like being let out of jail after a very long stretch. And the most important thing you have going for you, James, is that you've always been loved. as I have been by my mother, my sisters, and brother. Your mum and dad, your siblings, and I will always be there for you, James. And let me tell you, sisters are a gay man's best friend. If in doubt, just look at your mother and me. James, there'll be times when life won't be easy, believe me. But life is never simple, and you're sure to have your heart broken. It's the rite of passage that takes you from gullible to wise. I was just past my 21st birthday where I met the partner I knew would love me forever. But 2 years, 8 months, and 21 days later, the drunken beatings, the cheating and the lies, they all took their toll. I left the city and I went bush. I'm told eventually he went for straight relationships. So maybe I could advertise myself as the cure for gay. Or could it be that as he got older, it was just easier to beat up women? And maybe they didn't hit back so often. James, I'll never forget my first Mardi Gras. Oh, I've still got the outfit. Oh, I'm embarrassed to say it fits into one hand. Oh my God, did I really wear them in public? And was I ever that thing? The costumes, the gear, the eye candy, wow, what a time to be alive and happy and young and free. I'm so glad to have been part of the hopefulness and change during those early days. I don't even bother to watch the parades now. They've been hijacked by placard-waving apologists, PC sprouting show-offs, and all that other woke crap. Oh, these days, the parades are just a motley crew of people trying to normalise being different. And whenever did the gay community ever decide to attach labels to its people? You know, this LGBTX nonsense, and they instead of him or her. Oh, please. We fought against labels then, James, and we marched for the right to live as we wanted. But now we're being dragged back into the mainstream. Yet when I went bush 30 or more years ago, I immediately became part of the community. Everyone knew which team I batted for, and the attitude was very much, so what? So what? My elder sister, your aunt, she always spoke about a favourite young uncle who was my father's most loved brother. He was handsome, never married, and died during World War II, which I could almost say was fortunate for my father, for he never had to face the fact that the brother he loved so much was gay. I was 25, James, when I came out to my father, your grandfather, and he never spoke to me again. His choice. While he never knew about the many things I am proud to say I have achieved in my life, I know that the family will always celebrate you and your triumphs. So, James, here we are, 75 years after a handsome uncle died, having never come out, 40 years or more since I did. And now there's you and your 2 cousins coming to terms with being gay. I often wonder, is being gay in our genes? That has prompted another philosophical thought. During the 1680s, the Protestant Huguenots escaped Catholic France by crossing the Channel, and the word refugee became part of the English language, thanks to William III, who welcomed those Protestants to England. You and I, James, are direct descendants of those Huguenots, those refugees, and that makes me wonder if we have a genetic disposition towards being different. I think we do. Your loving uncle, John Paul.